All right, guys, welcome to a Beat Writers Roundtable draft edition of Chargers Weekly here with Haley Elwood, Daniel Popper of The Athletic, Gil Bonzano, Southern California News Group. Guys, not much happened tonight, huh?
Yeah, complete dead 3 hours for us, yeah.
Chargers get their quarterback, Justin Herbert, at number 6. And I was preparing to talk more about Justin Herbert today. So I'm compiling notes, and then I look up, and it says the Chargers on the clock at 23 overall. And what do? They get Kenneth Murray, the stud linebacker from Oklahoma. So let's start with Gil. Your overall thoughts on both Justin Herbert and then snatching Kenneth Murray at 23.
Yeah, that Kenneth Murray pick was a surprise for me. I was already writing my story for the day, Justin Herbert. I think I was approaching 1,000 words, and then you see the trade up for Kenneth Murray. But overall, I like the both picks. You fill two needs there for quarterback and linebacker. I'm a little surprised they didn't go for offensive tackle, but Kenneth Murray is a good player. We're talking to him that he could play two spots from outside to inside linebacker. But the main attraction is Justin Herbert. That was kind of chaos at the top with Joe Burrow and Tua. Where would these guys go? And for the Chargers, it was Justin Herbert. And it seems like the Chargers are okay with that.
Daniel, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought there was a chance they'd trade back into the first round. And I always thought that, Patrick Queen and Kenneth Murray were the two linebackers after Isaiah Simmons. And there was a chance that both those guys were going to fall past the 20th pick. They must have had Kenneth Murray rated as at least a top 15 pick the way that they were talking about him. And he's a perfect fit for this defense. Violent mentality, that's what Tom said on his conference call to all of us. That's exactly how he plays. He's fast. He hits hard. And then the other thing that they talk about with Kenneth Murray is his leadership. He's a multi-year captain at Oklahoma. They're looking for young players that can fill that void. And as Tom said, they got both those in Justin Herbert and Kenneth Murray. And then just as far as Herbert and the quarterback, like once the pick came in my mind, I'm like, okay, it was quarterback the whole time. It was just a question of which quarterback was going to be there at 6. Honestly, a tremendous day for the Chargers front office, I feel like, across the board.
Haley, you and I have talked to so many draft analysts. We've poured through mock draft after mock draft after mock draft and ad nauseum. And you kind of psych yourself out, right? You're like, Who are the Chargers going to take? We had an inkling that it was going to be Herbert through all the analysts that we've talked to. You had a chance to talk to him tonight. What was his reaction to getting picked by the Bolts, and how excited is he about coming to LA?
He's so excited. And actually what's really cool is he was literally training down the street. He was training for the combine down the street. So he's super familiar with the area. He told me his relationship with Dan Fouts goes back to his grandfather, who was a wide receiver at Oregon. To follow kind of a legend like that is something really special, and carry on that Oregon legacy with the Chargers is really great as well.
And he was a Chargers fan growing up.
Yeah.
Did you see that picture?
That picture was awesome.
So somebody slides in my DMs and sends me the picture. He's like, oh, here's Justin Herbert as a 5-year-old. I'm like, what? Where did you find this? And I go to Reddit and I get it confirmed. It's like, he's 5 years old. He's a Charger. I mean, between Fouts, as Haley mentioned, and the Charger shirt as a young kid, like it seems like it was destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
The type of team that he's coming into with an offense with so many weapons and that really cater to his skill set, his athleticism, his big arm. When you talk about big play guys like Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, having a tight end like Hunter Henry and Austin Eckler, obviously that's going to lead to success. At least you're set up for success as a young quarterback.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because he's been through many coaches. I think you brought up the 3 systems he's gone through in Oregon. So he could pick up an offense pretty quick. We spoke to him. He was pretty bothered about missing one formation on that quiz he got from the Chargers. So you could tell he's a guy who wants to get it all correct 100%. So I think for him, he's probably eager to get to that playbook.
But that's the best part. It's like, it wasn't even like someone asked him specifically about his meetings. They were just like, oh, like, how much contact did you have with the Chargers? He's like, I missed a question. Like, still remembers it months later. Like, it's just, I mean, you want a quarterback that is seeking perfection, and not only seeking perfection for himself, but seeking perfection for his team and for his teammates. And that's certainly what this guy is.
You know what really impressed me about Justin Herbert is that when the spotlight was on him in that big Rose Bowl game, the Senior Bowl, he came out with the MVP in both of those games. The combine, he probably had one of the best workouts there. And he was a starter for 40. I think he started 42 games in Oregon for 4 seasons. He brought up how bad they were as a freshman at Oregon, and he built them up to be a Rose Bowl champion. So you've seen how much Justin Herbert's kind of progressed in the last 4 years. And just to have the spotlight on him, I think that really kind of, impressed me that he was able to flourish that well.
And I'll add something really quick just about the Senior Bowl, because I did ask him, what did you learn that week that really kind of taught you that you could play football at this next level? And he said that really it was just the whole process. It was the whole process of being around NFL teams, learning sort of the meeting schedule, being around guys who are probably going to make it at that next level. And he said that leading up to the combine, he goes, I had this kind of idea in my head that I was going to go out and do what I do best and sort of let the rest take care of itself. And that's exactly what ended up happening back in January.
Hey, Popper, Kenneth Murray, we talked about Isaiah Simmons a lot at number 6 potentially. To get your franchise quarterback, then to kind of boldly go into the first round and get Kenneth Murray, who is an absolute monster at Oklahoma. 325 tackles, 36.5 for loss, 9.5 sacks. To plug in a guy like Kenneth Murray, a young player that on a D that has kind of a mix of vets and younger guys alike.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing that struck me about Kenneth Murray and talking to him was just, how versatile he is. And that's one of the things that he brought up when I asked him sort of where he's going to fit into this defense. He played Mike, middle linebacker at Oklahoma, but he was recruited as an outside linebacker, meaning that he could play Mike for the Chargers. He could play Will, which is where Thomas Davis played last year. He could play Sam, which is their auto spot, which is the strong side linebacker. He could even rush from a standing position, he said, which is what Melvin Ingram does on third down packages. The pieces that Gus Bradley and Tom Telesco and the Chargers in general are looking for on defense are versatile, athletic, hard-hitting pieces. And that's what Kenneth Murray is. He fits, and that's what when Tom Telesco says that he fits perfectly with what we're trying to do, that's what he is. And I'm curious to see where he ends up fitting in. He can really play so many different spots that, adding Chris Harris and having Desmond King as well, Gus Bradley has a lot of pieces to use to move around and create packages that are going to wreak havoc on opposing offenses.
Guys, it was fun. It was wild. And we'll see you on Friday.
What's happening, Chargers fans? If you guys want to see some more, click right here. Check it out. It's pretty simple. Right here. Check it out.